we can just close it out by saying who do you think he would be today?
Well, the only thing I don't really know today is whether which one would have been his main profession. Would have been basketball or doctor part-time or doctor full-time, basketball part-time.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I don't know.
Yeah.
I do see him achieving his goals, though. I do.
The fact of the matter is that it's going to take the people united to put an end to this.
My name is Nicholas Haywood Sr. I'm the father of Nicholas Jr. Nicholas Jr. is a 13-year-old honor student.
My name is Donna Haywood. I'm the wife of Nicholas Haywood Sr.
Nicholas Jr. Was born August 26, 1981. He was my firstborn son. I got a phone call, yes, and she was in labor, and I went to the hospital. He was born at Long Island College. The nurse had brought me over to the glass window first and pointed him out. I asked her, can I go and see him? You know? So she took me around and I picked him up, and it was just a great, exciting moment for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did he look like you, or did he look more like his mother?
He looked like both of us. He looked mostly like both of us.
Show the camera and make sure you focus on that. That's beautiful. So was that day one, or what?
This is more like maybe a week later.
Oh, okay.
It was a very exciting moment for me because the fact Nicholas also was a planned child. It wasn't like, oops, I'm pregnant. We actually talked about it, and this is what we both had wanted at the time. He was very active. He's a very active child. Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yes. Could I keep up with him at that? Yes, I was able to keep up with him. Yes, I made it my business to keep up with him. Learning how, children are, when they're that age, having a child around you all the time like that, that's a whole learning experience for me. A whole bunch of fun. That's what it was all about, from the time that he was born until like the age of 6. And then I felt it was time for him to become and learn how to be a man.
Yeah.
So that's when we went on, and I started, teaching him certain things, As far as my thing, I wanted him to know his history. That's what I wanted him to know. And he connected pretty well with that also. He loved reading, he loved learning, he loved talking to adults. I can remember his first day in public school. The first day in public school because I was there also. Actually, we both were there, and that was an exciting moment. Nicholas actually, his first day in public school, he said, "Y'all don't have to stay here. Y'all don't have to stay." Yeah, I guess he felt that he's comfortable, and he's all right, and we didn't have to stay, whatever. He went to the same school that I went to, public school that I went to, so.
What school was that?
PS 32.
Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't have a problem, with him being there, or what he had said, because like I said, Nicholas was a smart child. He wanted to learn. I don't care where, whether it was to the zoo, to the park, or to relatives or whatever. He always had that sense of humor. He wanted to see people happy, and so he always had something. He always had something, humorous he wanted to share with the people. And he also, you know, wanted to show people how much he know, how intelligent he was, you know. But I remember one time some friends of mine would come by and they would like ask him some history questions. Who was the first black boxer, or who was the certain inventors and stuff like that then. And he usually hit them right on the head, get them right in the gut, and you know, it really shocked a lot of them. He liked it reading, he liked it writing, and he liked it having conversation. I mean, that's the thing. He wasn't really a very outside person, but he liked it going to family, you know, when to visit family. He loved it. And he was very protective also, protective of his younger brother, protective of his friends also.
Where do you think he got that from?
That I would think he might have got it from me, because I love family, and I was very protective of my brothers and my sisters. We also always visited family. Nicholas actually wrote about all of the stuff that he liked. This right here, what she's about to read, Nicholas is describing his character.
And this is what he says, the reason why I picked my native name to be Nicholas Newt is because a newt and I both have similarities. For example, I am rarely seen by people, mainly because I tend to spend my school days and weekends home, so I'm hardly ever seen by my relatives, besides my parents, my brother, and my uncle who lives with us. My grandmother and my 2 cousins once in a while. I am also a good swimmer because of my legs, yes. And just as the newts are good and quick swimmers because of their flattened tails. Yes, this was written by Nicholas Haywood Jr.
He expressed to me he wanted to be a basketball player, a professional basketball player, and he wanted to be a doctor, working in the field of gynecology. I mean, it just blew me away when the first time he mentioned that to me. I was like, wow, a gynecology for real? He said, but he was like, yeah, he wanted to study more on it. He said, I'm going to study more on it, and that's what I want to do, though. I was like, okay, that's okay. Continue studying. Continue studying. I was like, wow. I was home here with Nicholas, and some friends of his had called him out the window and asked, can he come out? And I asked him, did you finish your homework and everything? He said, yeah, I finished the homework. I said, you want to go out? And he said, yeah, I want. So they went out and they was playing. And I told him that I had to go to the Bronx to pick up his cousin. So when I was on my way back from the Bronx, my pager started buzzing. And I was on FDR Drive at the time. And I just ignored it, kept on going, but it just kept on going off and kept on going off. So I pulled over, can't remember the exit, but I pulled over and I looked at, it was the same number. It actually was a friend of mine, Douglas Gasby. So I called him and he told me, you need to hurry up back. Your son just got shot by that cop. He said that cop, because this cop, Brian George, who killed Nicholas, was a very nervous and timid officer in the community, and everybody knew that. So I just got back in the car and rushed back over here. And when I pulled up, it was like a big crowd in the front, and they said they took him to the hospital. They took him to the hospital. So I said, you know what hospital? They said, I'm not sure. And then one guy said, they took him into Manhattan, so they took him to St. Vincent's. And I was like, to St. Vincent's? Because you have like 3 local hospitals right in this area. But I went over to St. Vincent's, and his mother, my brother, and a friend of mine was already there. but they said they haven't allowed them to see Nicholas as of yet. So, but as we're waiting, one of the doctors came and they asked us, it wasn't a doctor, it was, I think it was a nurse, asked us if we wanted a TV in his room, or phone, the phone or anything, started asking us stuff like that there. So at that particular moment, we actually, felt a little relief that, he's going to make it through or whatever, But I say maybe about 3 hours after that, they came back and told us, what is that? The blood was pumping out more quicker as they was, I forgot the terminology they used, but they were saying like during surgery, the blood was pouring out or whatever, something like that, in that nature, and they couldn't save him. Yeah. I would like to read another another little story from his 6th grade teacher.
Okay.
Well, one of her experiences with Nicholas. This one right here was so funny and touching. It just, her name is Miss Brown, and she goes, during the school year of 1992 to 1993, Nicholas was a high-achieving student in Miss Brown's 6th grade class at Public School 20 in Clinton Hills. Here a few of her reflections. There is an Eastern proverb that reads, "She who teaches also learns." To date, Nicholas Hayward Jr. is still one of my favorite teachers. I sometimes look over the poem. Poems and short stories and pictures Nicholas drew for me. I think about how he loved to talk about God and gospel. I'm sorry.
I think about how he loved to talk about God and gospel music. My heart sometimes feels little butterflies, my sign that a spirit is visiting. When I give Nicholas's favorite journal writing assignments. However, my favorite memories come from Nicholas constantly trying to share a little joy with the class and I. One day in particular, we were on the subway returning from a field trip. A trip rule, keep it quiet on the train. The class was in trouble for something that happened earlier in the day. So they were supposed to be sitting and reflecting or writing in their journals. All of a sudden, I heard giggling. With sixth grade, a giggle comes easily and usually spreads. So I gave them the look and waited for them to stop. They started giggling louder. Finally, I decided to go over to the 5 students. I was annoyed and ready to remind them of the rule. I huffed over and asked, "What's going on?" Between giggling, Jessica responded, "It's Nicholas." Then more giggles. "What about Nicholas?" I snapped. Jessica continued, "Nicholas said that you have a very pretty smile and we should look at you because he's going to make you smile." What happened next? Of course, I laughed and my mood changed. God has many names and takes many forms. However, the lesson we are here to learn always come back to love and forgiveness. I feel blessed that Nicholas was one of my teachers. He taught me to open my heart to forgiveness, and that love heals. Teacher Brown, PS 20.
Another thing about Nicholas, Nicholas loved taking pictures and all of that stuff
Oh,
there. Yeah, he loved doing that.
Okay, so